And what does that mean for you? It just means dollars. All we are here to do is to help you make money, whichever way you want to make it. You can go forward. Thank you. Why Nigeria? Why Nigeria? So now let's go to the meat of the matter. Why Nigeria? It's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. If you are doing business in Canada, you can do business in Nigeria. If you are making 5% in Canada and you are thinking you're doing well, you can make 25% doing the same thing in Nigeria. And why is that? The developing economy is always where you are going to make the most money. I am in real estate. Canadian real estate is a settled market. US real estate is a settled market. UK real estate is a settled market. What do I mean? We have hundreds of years of data. You can't come and call dog monkey for me. Shall we translate? You can't come and call dog monkey for me. The data is there. In Nigeria, we are starting from ground zero. There is zero data. The data that is there is so unreliable, you might as well not have any. In fact, it's better to proceed on the understanding that there is no data than for you to go and use wrong data. Because that data is subject to whoever was receiving bribe that day. So when you start from that, you know you're starting from scratch. But what that does is it gives you an opportunity to go in there and make your mark. Because, again, it is not a settled economy. So, with internet technology, we are seeing this rapid development in Nigeria. I can tell you from my experience, I went to Nigeria and I was blown away at the technology. Everybody's cell phone is a bank. Everybody's cell phone is where they do everything. When your meat seller has 3 cell phones, you know technology is important. Everybody has a cell phone. That's how they buy their minutes. That's how they pay their bills. That's how they transfer their money. They are so quick to give you their bank account number that we are still here saying, no, I don't give out my bank. They put it in the newspaper. Pay to us. So the environment to do business is there. It is there. And not just is it there, like my doctor sister said, the number of people, if you carry water, you will find 1,000 people to buy it. Because just thinking the numbers is staggering. So what is the problem? It is the language of business. It is the expectation that you take from here to Nigeria, and it will not be met because you are not on ground to see it through. If you are not on ground 3 months to follow up on your business, you know, don't go and sell goods. Don't go and do contract if you cannot sit there until it is done. You can sell services, which is what I sell. So I go in for a conference, I spend 2 weeks, they pay my money to my account before I go, and I come back. That's a whole different thing. But if you are carrying goods to Nigeria, you must have an entrance strategy and an exit strategy. Otherwise, it's going to fail. And then you're going to come here, and you're going to talk about how Nigerians are this, and Nigerians are that, when you didn't do your homework properly before you went. Okay, so let's keep going, please. Goldman Sachs, Nigeria will be one of the top 15 biggest economies in the world by 2050. McKinsey, Nigeria could grow at 7% per annum until 2030. For the next 14 years, you can be making money. IMF, growth was 6.8%. Like my sister said, 35% of the GDP for the whole of South Africa under the Sahara. Please, let's move forward. Let me tell you something else. Look at West Africa. Over 80% of the GDP of West Africa is in Nigeria. Over 80% of the population of West Africa is in Nigeria. Nigeria. What does that mean? Everybody goes to Nigeria first. I go to conferences, I meet people from all over the world, and they will tell you, they don't even try and hide it. I'm in Nigeria because that's where the money is. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go in West Africa that you will bypass Lagos and you will go there? You can't. Because the numbers are not anywhere else but in Nigeria. The propensity to spend, the willingness to spend, the willingness for people to come to you and say, please take my money. You're not going to find it in too many places outside of Lagos and in Nigeria. So let's keep going, please. So, why am I in the housing sector? That's my field. That's my specialization. I have a law degree, I have a master's degree in law, and it satisfies my need for the legal part without the court part, so it works for me. But what did I find in Nigeria? I've been going to Nigeria, I do conferences, I speak, like you said, I'm on YouTube and things like that. It's so fascinating to me because of the talent, and somebody talked about that. The education, the people that are running the Nigeria business sector. You cannot go there and pose for them with education, though. They will embarrass you. If you speak to the gatesman, they have master's degree from Cambridge. The way they talk about UPenn and Harvard and Booth and Wharton, it is like they went to primary school. So you cannot go there and embarrass them with education. They all come highly qualified, very creative. When you sit with Nigerians in a room, when I go into a conference in Nigeria and we sit and they say, let's have a leaders conference. Especially a female leaders conference. They talk about transactions of $250 million on a daily basis. They will tell you we don't do anything under $250 million per investment. Projects, they do large scale projects. So luxury, medium, all of these office buildings, big buildings like that. Please, let's go on. So, what are the pros for you? I talked about the emerging market. I talked about population growth and income generation, which my sister touched on. Everybody has heard of it and is looking to cash in. What does that mean? People are interested in what you want to say. Is how you say it. Everybody wants to spend money in Nigeria. Everybody. Let me tell you, I'm from the US. They complain about 419 Nigeria on a daily basis. We have a bad name. However, in spite of all that, Chase Bank is in Nigeria. Citibank is in Nigeria. HSBC is in Nigeria. Merrill Lynch is in Nigeria. Please name them for me. Jones Lang LaSalle is in Nigeria. Name it, they are all in Nigeria. In the midst of all their Nigerians are 419 and all these Nigerians, it is all fake. Don't let media rob you of your projector. Distractions will remove from you the intensity of focus you need to make what you need to happen for you. And that is the lesson that I learned in Nigeria. When I was going to Nigeria, I was scared. The first time I went for a conference in Nigeria, before I even leave the US, you will pay 50% into my account. They actually paid it, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, when I land, before I speak, I want the other 50% in my account. They did not pay it. I said, oh, you see now, everything they said was true. Because I had not been to Nigeria in 19 years. But when they paid the money, they wrote the check like that. It didn't even face them, and I get paid in dollars. But the mentality you go with is based on experiences that you have heard or maybe have experienced. But a wise man in Nigeria told me this. If you have been 419 in Nigeria, go and read your story. It's probably somebody close to you.
True.
It is because you did not go about it in a business-like fashion. So please, let's move forward. Environmental concerns, environmental problems. We know what they are. Security problems. Every investor that I have talked to, every investor, you talk about Nigeria, the first thing they tell you is, but they have a security problem. Everybody has had a Boko Haram. Everybody knows that you can land at the airport in Nigeria, drive out, and you can be robbed within 5 minutes. However, in the middle of that, the number of white people in every conference that I have been to in Nigeria in the last 6 months has equaled the number of